Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Hartley with Action Coach. What needs to pivot in my business, kickstart your day, get you refocused, because business is changing daily right now. Well, good day and welcome to As We Prepare to Pivot, what we need to focus on in our business. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm a non-medical type of doctor. I operate on business, and today's focus is going to be some critical areas in your business that you must focus on when it comes to your messaging and how we actually cause change to take place. We're going to specifically go through 5 different laws, actual laws that the world has on how it applies specifically to your business. Let's dive in. So from chaos to control, we start with your mindset every single day. We talked about this yesterday, which was KAIZEN, the constant and never-ending improvement. I equate that to being the constant student in your life, in your business, never letting yourself just stay at that plateau. It's grow, plateau, grow, plateau, grow, plateau. So the question is are you in growing mode or are you in the plateau? Because what we'll learn here in a minute is there's no stagnant state. If you are plateauing, you're actually falling behind. So where should you be growing and learning right now? What are, the top 2 things that you should be learning this month as an example, today as an example? Key to business success is ultimately leverage. So when we prepare for the sprint ahead in our life and in our business, it really comes down to leverage. And there's a few different ways to really look at leverage. First is going to be ever more with ever less. Think about that. Ever more with ever less. It is the divide to multiply. You're going to take a massive goal and you're going to divide it into smaller sections that then you can go aggressively attack. It's why when we look at increasing your profit by 50, 60%, 100%, we can't just say, well, we're just going to go do that today. We have to take that and we have to divide it into 5 different areas of your business and then go focus on each one of those areas. So leverage is about doing more with you doing less. It's about doing the work once and getting paid forever for it. There are lots of ways to do that in your business. That's why we say you should always be documenting systems. If you are doing something, write it down, type it out. You may be the only one that's in your business to do it right now. In the future, there may be somebody else to delegate it to. You see, if you do a task without writing it down how you did it, you're destined to repeat it forever. So write down how you do certain things, and you may tweak it and change it over time. That's great. And if you're in a massive organization, think about the fact that eventually you won't be in the spot you're in right now. And there's a reason why you're in that spot. And so you may need to document certain things so that way the next person that takes it as you elevate can still continue the pace at which you've been doing it, at the quality of which you've been doing it. There's 2 different types of knowledge, tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. One is like rote, like it's documented. One's like on the job, it's in your head. And we got to find ways to make sure that we get both types of knowledge documented one way or another, whether it's on video, in pictures, documented, written out, typed out. How do we get all that done? That's how we start to build departments and businesses to run without the individual. Business leverage. 4 different areas in business leverage. First one is through people. They are your greatest asset. For you, your time is your greatest asset, and for your business, the people are. Systems and technology. Systematize the routine, humanize the exception. Most businesses can systematize about 80%. It really follows the 80-20 rule. So what's the 80% of your business that can be systematized? That's where your focus is. And then you humanize the exception, the other 20% of your business. Through financing, through finance, through understanding the math of your business, through understanding the numbers. Business is math. So how do we focus on those areas? And then ultimately through sales and marketing. The best mousetrap doesn't always sell the most. Think about this. Does McDonald's sell the best burger? Does Taco Bell sell the best taco? Not in a million years. And yet they do a lot of business. They are in a ton of locations. in a lot of different countries. And it's the same burger regardless of what McDonald's you go to, because they've systematized the process. You don't have to have the best product, candidly, to have the most sales. They've proven it over and over again. So think about how you need to leverage your sales and your marketing and your sales. Ultimately, when you want massive success, that sprint ahead, that sprint forward, you got to leverage and focus on each of these 4 areas. So I told you we'd go through a handful of laws. The first one's going to be the second law of thermodynamics. It simply states that a system cannot stand still. It's either growing or dying, just like a tree. A tree either grows or it dies. Our business is no different. Our business is either growing or dying. If you are in that stagnant plateau place, you're actually falling behind. Standstill sales means profits are declining. Standstill in knowledge means that new innovations will surpass you. Other people are going to be focusing on it. It's why when you look at the innovations that came out of the last recession, things like Uber kicked in and Airbnb did, because people finally focused on, you know what, I want to grow my knowledge. And those industries decided not to. And so they plateaued, and then somebody else came along. So second law of thermodynamics states that either you grow or you die. Your business grows or it dies. So is it growing or is it dying? There is no standstill. And what are you doing to help it grow? Do you have a coach looking at it? Do you have books that you're looking to read and conferences you're going to be looking to go to, whether that's virtually or in person? What are you doing there? Second law for today is going to be the third law of thermodynamics, which was notably, talked through, if you will, identified by a Nobel Prize winner, 1977, the concept of perturbation. What he found was that for growth, pressure must be applied. And so when we look at the concept of perturbation, it is about applying the right type of pressure. What does the right type of pressure mean for you? What's that mean for your business? How do you apply good pressure? As human beings, we showcase perturbation a lot of times in emotion. And so the question is what's causing stress or anxiety? What's causing happiness and elation? What's causing us to emote one way or another? That is coming from perturbation. And so for us to properly grow, either we're growing or we're dying. So for us to properly grow, we got to apply the right type of pressure. So what's the type of pressure that we're applying right now? Then we get to the law of intention. And what's really cool about this is it helps lead us to where we put our attention. So intention, deliberately choosing the future that you want. Choosing where we're going, destination mastery. Now, once we have been intentional with a decision or a vision of where we're going or what we want the day to look like or what we want to accomplish this month, what a win looks like, now it gives context to what we plan and where we put our attention. So you must be intentional so that way you can focus your attention in the right way. Then we start talking about your RAS, your reticular activating system, and all that. So you're growing or you're dying. When we grow, we must add pressure. Now that we know, and then we want to be intentional with where we want to grow. The fourth one for the day is the law of attraction. There's a lot that goes into this. I could invest the next hour just talking about it. Like attracts like. It's the simplest, most core format of it. Positive focus brings positive outcomes. Not enough to decide what you don't want. It's not enough about just saying, well, you know what? I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to eat snacks all day. I don't want to just sit down for the next 8 hours. It's not enough to decide what we don't want. It's about putting our focus towards what we do want. And the reason being, one of the reasons, is that our subconscious removes those words don't, not, no, So if I say I don't want something, my subconscious doesn't register the word don't. So it registers what I'm bringing attention to. I don't want to gain weight. My subconscious actually hears, the subconscious mind actually hears, I want gain weight. I want to gain weight. And so what we want you to focus on is to actually focus on what you desire to have, the intended outcome. Forget what you don't want. Don't bring attention to that. Bring attention to what you do want. That And again, there's a lot of science behind it. We can invest a whole bunch of time just talking about this one law. So keep your RAS at your reticular activating system. Keep it focused on what you do want. Then we get to the final one of the day. For what it's worth, be very clear with your intention and focus, and it brings where you're going to have attention. Again, that's why we focus on both of these at the same time. Each one of these builds on top of one another. The final one is the law of vacuum. The law of vacuum states that everything grows to fill the space that we're given. So if I tell myself I'm going to give myself 3 weeks to do a task, I'm most likely going to do it the day before the end of the 3 weeks. It's why when we have school assignments, when we're kids, most of us, unless we have been taught proper self-discipline and self-mastery, which some have, for sure, unless we've been taught that and understand it and live it, we wait for the night before to do a homework assignment that we've known for 3 weeks. So start giving yourself shorter timelines, because the law of vacuum states that you're going to use the entire amount of time that you give yourself to do something, to be who we want to be, to do the things we want to do, to ultimately get the results we want to have. We must follow and allow ourselves to create the right amount of space. Sometimes we need to give us more time. SMART goals, the A is achievable. So when we create SMART goals, it's got to be achievable. So sometimes that means, I want $1 million. Well, that may not happen in the next 2 months. It may happen in the next 3 years. And then for other focuses, we need to have less time. It's all about understanding that we will fill the amount of time we are given, as long as it's achievable. So how will you apply this to your life, and how will you apply this to your business? Where in life do we need to understand that the law of vacuum, we're literally giving ourselves an intentional reason, going back to that, to allow us to procrastinate on a specific task. You see, the frog you have to eat, if you haven't read that book, Go Eat That Frog, name of the book, on procrastination. If you haven't read Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, it's about procrastination. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make a decision. That's the core of that book, because it allows you to get out of the parts of your mind, out of your brain that think emotionally, and get into the prefrontal cortex. You're thinking logically. So you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the first action on the thing that you're procrastinating on. And it's why we coach you towards doing your frog, the thing that you're going to procrastinate on, at the very beginning of the day. It's the first thing you should do in your business day, is that task. You get that out of the way, the rest of the day is a breeze. You have now accomplished your biggest hurdle for the day already. It's only an hour into the business day. So, the law of vacuum, the law of intention, second and third law of thermodynamics. All of these start to compile against each other. When you set up your office with 15 empty folders for future customers, clients, strategic partners, you're giving yourself the opportunity to say, I'm ready for it. My RAS is set. My intention is there. I'm bringing attention to it. Now it's time to go fill them. What does your kit look like for when you add a strategic partner? What are you handing them to get them super excited about doing business with you? If you don't have that, go get one, go create one. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just have one. And then have 5 of them ready, have 15 of them ready, have 25 of them ready. You've set your RAS for now to have that number of strategic partners, and then give yourself a time frame. All of these really start to compound against each other. At the end of the day, business is more like a boat than it is like a train. Why is that? Why is that? A train is on a set course, and there's only one way, most of the time, for a train to get from point A to point B. It has its route, it's going there. It is stuck on the rails. Even with other rails, it can only follow those. Your business, our businesses, can take many paths to get to the destination we want to. The question just becomes, what's the right path for you? Apply these 5 laws to your life and to your business to help guide you along the way. Have the right mindset leading to the right actions. You'll get the results you're looking for. Stop bringing attention to things you don't want. Start bringing attention to the things that you do. And then ask yourself at the end of every day, did I do my best to? And then fill in the blank. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm here to elevate your business and enhance your lifestyle. If you have questions, put them into the comments. Type one thing that you got out of today's episode, out of today's session. We want to understand what you're learning. Helps us make sure that I'm focused in the right areas. If you have questions, feel free to type them in. And if not, make it a phenomenal rest of your Friday. Bye for now.